Hey everyone, so now that we've gotten through the welcome part, now let's get to the fun stuff in the orientation. And I'm going to take the next probably 15 to 20 minutes max and show you the orientation module to give you some idea of what it is that you have to get done during that first week. So to start with, you have the attendance check-in. This is very, very important because this tells me that you're going to be in the class. It also acknowledges to the college that you're going to be registered in the class. And it's important for our census. So you have to do it ASAP when you start the class. And if it's not done by the first weekend of the class, then I will drop you because that's what we have to do by law. So please don't put me in that position and just take care of it. It takes 2 seconds. So please take care of that. The next space below that is my office hour link. And during the summer, we're not required to carry office hours. However, I always am available for my students. And so if you want to make an appointment, you can send me an email. And all you have to do when we set up a time, you'll just click here and I'll take you inside for a moment. And you just click on the link here. If you're want to reach out from Mexico, you can click from here, or if you're traveling in some other country, you can also click there for international access to Zoom. If you also want to just call me, you can use Ring Central. Just call my office number, and it will ring, or you can text me there as well. So the big thing I want to stress about this is communication. I'm a big, big advocate of communication. So you have to make sure you can talk to me about if there's issues going on with you, if there's some reason you can't get your assignments in, and you need to do that early. One of the things I dislike the most is if students wait till like the last week of class and they're like, help me because something happened, but they've done nothing the entire semester, so I have no way to help them. So it's important that you communicate with me at all times. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the module. And then here, there's a lot of general information for you. Begin with this art welcome video. And then right below there is the orientation video, which you're watching now. And then there's an orientation to-do list. And then here are the things, again, that you do the first week. And as you can see, the attendance check-in followed by completing the module and doing the discussion zero. Now, discussion zero, I'll talk about a little bit later, is how we get to know each other, where you introduce yourself to the class. But I'll talk about that more in a few minutes. Below there is my bio, so if you click in here, you'll learn a little bit more about me and my background and some of the stuff that I've done on TV news. And then most of this stuff here is just basically if you haven't had online classes, or if you're not familiar with Canvas, this is where you get to find some information. And we do have access points for you to be able to get help and tutorials on how to use Canvas if you're not familiar. If you are not familiar, please let me know ASAP so I can get you some help. Okay, it's really important. As far as attendance, of course, this is an asynchronous class, meaning that it's online. Asynchronous means that you work at your own pace. This is a good thing, but it's also potentially a bad thing. It's good when you are disciplined about setting time aside to get things done. It's bad when you procrastinate and then you wait till the last minute and everything blows up in your face. So I can't stress to you enough how important it is for you to be able to stay on top of the work. So make sure you do that, please. That way we don't run into any problems. Next thing in here, there's some student resources in here, which I have a video clip here for you to watch to learn more about the resources that are available. And then if you're an EOP student, this is there's Karen Salazar is one of our counselors there, and she has kindly put together a video of the offerings for students who are EOPS students. And if you're not, but you're interested or you fit the criteria, then reach out to them, and she has all the contact info in her video clip. So I encourage you to do that. There are some fantastic counselors over there, and they're really great people. And then the academic year calendar. This is summer session, so there's only a couple things coming up. Basically, we start class on the 20th because the 19th is Juneteenth. That's a holiday, which is that Monday, so we start on Tuesday officially. And then 4th of July, and that's it. So those are days that you don't have to do any work, but I encourage you to make sure do whatever you have to do to stay on top of things. This is really important. This is the important dates that are generated by our admissions and records office, the things that are coming up. And you can see here, and I'll just scroll to the most important things. So summer session begins June 20th, and then the 22nd is the late registration deadline. So if you're planning on if you know anyone or have friends that want to register late, they have to do it by the 22nd. And then the drop deadline to get a full refund is June 27th. After that date, you don't get a refund unless you maybe grovel and beg. The next important date is July 19th. So if for some reason that you decide later in the session that you want to drop the class, you can drop after the 27th, but it will show as a W in your record. And so just be aware of that, and you won't get a refund. And then class ends on the 27th. So it's a really fast 6 weeks. I can't stress that enough. The discussions. This is really an important component. In fact, the most important component of the class. I'll talk about it more in detail later, but this is really, in essence, where your critical thinking skills come in and where I pose questions to you, and you have to respond to the question, basically answer my question in a nice solid paragraph or two, and then you have to look at 3 of your classmates and respond to 3 of theirs, respond to 3 of them with equally a nice solid paragraph. One thing I don't want to see is if you just say, hey, I agree with you, and you just repeat what they said. I don't want that. I'm looking for you to give me your view of what they've said and why it's important in the context of what you believe. Or if you disagree with them, why you might disagree with them. But that's what I'm looking for there. And again, I'll talk more about that in detail, but I will tell you that the point value for discussions is 40 points. But I've had students get as high as 50 points because I do award extra credit if I see extra effort on the discussions. I've had, instead of doing a total of 4 responses, total, I've had students do as many as 5 or 6 because they're trying to gain extra points. So you can get extra credit if you would, depending on what you provide in your discussions. The next thing is contacting me, which you already know. I've already given you that information. Basically, you reach out to me via email or in other modalities. You can reach me as well. And then office hours, there are no office hours officially, but I will make myself available to you at pretty much any time. That if you send me a message, I'll try and schedule you within that same day or certainly by the next day. If it's an emergency, please let me know it's an emergency, and then I'll try and get back to you right away. The syllabus is here. I'll go in a second. The course roadmap, which is basically just outlines what it is that we're doing in the class for the semester. I will basically show you real quickly here. And it's just from week 1 all the way through what it is that we're covering throughout the class. It's also in the syllabus, which you'll have access to as well. And then the textbook. And the textbook is, I jumped too far ahead. It's free, as I've said, and it's available to you here. Now you have a couple different ways you can access it. You can download the PDF to your home computer or laptop or tablet. I would not recommend trying to download it to a cell phone, but if that's the only way you have it, you can try and see if you can get it like that, but it's pretty difficult to read that way. And then here's the book, and again, you can read it here directly, and you can, if you want to make more space, you can actually take this and just push it down, and then you have more room to see more of the total book. You can also zoom it and make it bigger so it's easier to read, to make it comfortable for you, okay? All right. Again, and once again, I want to remind you it's no cost. It's an ebook. It's right online and available to you. And then, last but not least, is the assignment for orientation, which is the getting to know each other. And this is important because what it does is it introduces you to your classmates. I don't want you to put too much personal information, so don't. But I just want you to tell us about who you are, what you like to do, what your major is, just some basic information that I want, so everybody gets to know each other. This is, no cyberbullying here, no personal information. Just tell us about yourself in general. And then I look forward to learning about you, and I think you get to learn about me. And the last thing I'll cover real quickly is the syllabus, and I might as well do that now. So I'll jump in here quickly because the main point in the syllabus obviously is going to be the points in the class, but it is a contract between myself and you, the students. Basically lays out the course description and information, the learning outcomes, the course objectives. The textbook information is in here. And again, most important, there are 5 summaries and 5 posts that you have to do, discussion posts. Total points for the class is 300. Here's the breakdown summary of your total points. And we're not a plus or minus college, so if you're close to the B, if you have a high B and you're doing your work, I'm going to give you the A. If you have a high C and you're doing the work, you're going to get the B. If you had a high D, you're going to get the C. So I always take into account when I see your effort, moving you to the next grade up. That's also where those 20 points for the getting to know each, the discussion 0 is important. Because those 20 points, by giving you 20 free points just to be able to say a little bit about yourself. If some information because of with ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence, people have gotten full of basically plagiarizing, which is passing off information as their own, as not theirs. So the IBC put together a statement about artificial intelligence and the use of it. We also have artificial intelligence now, plagiarism checkers. So we've gotten pretty good at being able to address this issue already. So please don't put yourself in that position. I really want your critical thinking skills. So when I ask you what you think, I want to know what you think. Okay? And again, some information on academic honesty, on etiquette. I said before, be respectful to your other classmates. No profanity. No hookups. It's not the hookup place. It's not social media, so please don't put me or you in that situation, okay? And then last but not least is the class schedule, which basically is from the weekly schedule for the class. And that's it for the syllabus. And I think I'm going to stop there now and give us a pause, and then I'm going to do a brief video on the modules themselves, which will take about maybe all of 5 minutes. All right, thanks you guys.